Making Kayfabe podcast, bro. You guys rule. Do it like Russo, bro.
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 Bro?
Bro?
Bro.
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 Bro. Bro. Bro.
Bro.
Whoa, bro.
Bro.
Welcome to a very special edition of Making Kayfabe, where we book it like Russo, bro. This is
Bro?
Bro. This is the second installment of Book It Like Russo. The first one was very well received by you lovely listeners, and it was even sort of endorsed by Vince Russo himself, so we thought, fuck it, why not do another? I mean, where else are you going to hear about Vince McMahon's illegitimate son being revealed as his own mother? Where else are you going to see Vince Russo descend from the top of the arena as a coked-up Jesus to guide David Arquette to a victory on Raw Underground? And let's be really honest, where else are you going to see Stone Cold take his 316 gimmick very seriously and wrestle as Pope Austin avec Pope hats?
Right.
It's only in Book It Like Russo, and my friends, we're going to get right to it. But first, I would love to introduce my guest today. First, we have my good friend, my Making Kayfabe co-host, my muse. In Book It Like Russo last time, he did put a Pope pad on Austin, and it was marvellous. Ladies and gentlemen, he is a man who has just had his first COVID jag, so now has excellent 5G reception. Please welcome Dylan Copeland.
Yeah.
Bro.
I like the intro.
Bro.
How you doing, bro?
Bro.
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 Bro?
Do we say anything else, or is this the show just all bros?
If you do say anything else, I'm just going to replace it with bros anyway, so... You know.
That's because my story at the end is going to be like 50 minutes long, so it's just going to be you replacing it with 50 minutes worth of bros.
I feel like it would still make sense in an episode like Book It Like Russo.
Yeah, you've got a lot to look forward to, folks. And lastly, we have somebody who's also my good friend, a man that I've known for many years, and a man who has just designed some fucking badass graphics for Making Kayfabe, which you'll be seeing if you're listening to this show. Last time in Book It Like Russo, he booked David Arquette coming back, which we all want to see. Ladies and gentlemen, making his second Making Kayfabe appearance, it's Tyler Mortimer.
Yeah, boy,
Woo!
David Arquette. David
Yeah.
Arquette for WWE champion. David Arquette for all the gold. David Arquette for the belt collector gimmick.
Just-
David
The
Arquette.
man to dethrone Omega.
David
Kenny
Arquette
Omega,
versus
all
Kenny
in.
Omega. Yeah.
That's
I mean, that's what the people want. And AEW just haven't given it to us, and we want it.
Yeah.
No.
I'm like holding up a wad of money, literally doing the Fry meme, and they take my money right now. Vince Russo is only going to spend it on high-class strippers, but take my money, Vince. Take it.
Yeah, I'd watch that, man. I'd watch that. So, speaking of things that I would watch, here's what we're going to do for Book It Like Russo 2. So, there's 3 of us here, and we're each going to do our own Russo-esque rebooking in 3 different styles. So, I'll be kicking things off, where I'll be doing a rebooking kind of more similar to what you'd usually see in Making Kayfabe, except a bit more nuts than normal. Today, I'm going to be covering the aftermath of the recent AEW Exploding Ring fiasco. Then we'll be moving on to Tyler's rebooking, where, as I understand it, he literally has a fucking play that he's going to use Dylan and I to act out. As of yet, we have not seen the transcript, so we have no fucking idea of what to expect there, except that it's going to feature Vince Russo versus Vince McMahon in a battle of the Vinces. So you've got that to look forward to, folks. And finally, we'll move on to Dylan, who will be rebooking. He'll be rebooking as Vince Russo. So we'll find out what might go through the mind of Russo when he rebooks the King of Bros, Matt Riddle. So we've got a packed show today, guys. So without further ado, let's bro until we can't bro no more.
Bro.
Oh, bro. Guttural bro.
Heavy metal bro.
Guttural bro.
Come on. We got so much show to get through. We can't start just constantly broing every 2 minutes.
Yeah, we're gonna have to save our bros for the most optimum.
But also, we absolutely can. Bro.
Oh yeah,
Bro.
we can do whatever the fuck we want. It's our show, right?
Bro.
What are they going to do, fire us? So I'll kick things off. my Book It Like Russo is going to be the aftermath of the infamous AEW botched explosion at the Revolution pay-per-view. Now, I think most people listening to this will know what happened because it was a pretty big story at the time, but basically AEW booked this match with Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega to headline the Revolution pay-per-view, and it was set inside an exploding barbed wire death match. Now, just to proceed things, I just want to get it out of the way that this was a fucking excellent match. Like, I really enjoyed it. In fact, Revolution was a great show, and everyone should go and check it out if you haven't. Honest to God, like, I swear to God, bro. I swear to God. But it was one of the best wrestling shows I've seen in quite a while, so it's worth a watch. But anyway, after the match, there was basically meant to be this big explosion. The actual ring was meant to explode as scheduled by a timer that was on the big screen. Kenny Omega and his cronies, they'd beaten down Jon Moxley in the middle of the ring, leaving him laying defenseless right in the path of this big epic explosion that was meant to happen. Eddie Kingston, a guy who Jon Moxley used to be best friends with, but he's been feuding with for a while, he runs down to the ring to sacrifice himself to save Jon Moxley. He covers Jon Moxley's unconscious body and waits for the explosions to go off. And like, up until that point, just fucking excellent storytelling. But then the much anticipated explosion went off. And I say explosion, but what it actually was a few kind of farting pyros and some half-assed sparklers. Overall, it probably added up to about 25% of the pyro used for Cody Rhodes' entrance. It was a fucking... it's true. It was a fucking massive flop. And the saddest thing was that Eddie Kingston and Jon Moxley, they had to sell the massive explosion like it actually happened. So clearly something went wrong, and it was disappointing and kind of funny to an end to what was a pretty good pro wrestling show. But despite that, AEW, they played it well. They blamed the shitty explosions on Kenny Omega's poor engineering, which made sense because there were segments in the build-up to the show where Kenny Omega was building the bomb. As for Eddie Kingston, he said that he froze because of the intense pressure of the moment, anxiety basically, which again does make sense. So AEW, they didn't shy away from it. They realised that it was a total fucking dud, but they addressed it and moved on like professionals, never really mentioning it again. I'd imagine if this was WWE, they'd pretend like nothing was wrong and just gaslight fans into thinking that it really was a huge explosion, or like Photoshop in some fire emojis over the replay or something, I don't know. But how would Vince Russo book it? How would Russo book the aftermath of this dud explosion? My friends, that's what we're about to find out as I, Bryce of Making Kayfabe, book it like Russo.
Do it, bro.
Do it like Russo, bro.
So, Tony Khan, he's in bits. You know, it's happened to plenty of promoters in the past, but it hasn't happened to him until now. He's promised something big, and unfortunately, he's not delivered. You know, he's scrolling through Twitter after the show, reading tweet after tweet after tweet, criticising AEW, those stupid marks, calling it the worst promotion ever, and he just can't take it anymore. So he throws his phone across the room, fucking marks, he says. But the guy's in a hole. You know, how does he get out of this? How does he explain what just happened with the lack of explosions? You know, he's been a promoter for less than 2 years, so he's not best equipped to deal with such a situation. So he starts to brainstorm, but he can't come up with any ideas. He's stumped. He calls his VPs, Omega, Rhodes, Jackson and Jackson. They've got no idea either. You know, he's 1 second away from calling the Making Kayfabe podcast and asking them what he does next, but then he stops. He thinks, there's got to be something I'm missing here. What do all the great wrestling promoters have in common? Vince McMahon, Eric Bischoff, Dixie Carter. There's got to be something.
Oh, the great of Ohio.
Hold on, wait. Is it that they're all called Vince?
The great, hang on.
Wait a minute.
great wrestling promoters like Dixie Carter.
Yeah, exactly. So
Dixie Carter is a stage name. Her real name is Vince.
Vince Russo.
That's true. You're not actually far off. And then, just like that, the answer comes to him. With one solitary tear running down an anguished expression on his face, he says, "By God, I've got to hire Vince fucking Russo."
God damn.
Suffice to say, Vince Russo, he jumps in a plane and he's at the following week's Dynamite tapings. So, in a backstage booking meeting, Russo says to Tony Khan, "Bro, you're stressing yourself out too much. Like, look at you. You've built one hell of a successful wrestling company, and this is the first thing to really go wrong. How about you go on holiday for a while, bro? Let me take the wheel for a while. It will be fine.
Yeah.
Tony Khan, he agrees, and he goes on vacation, leaving Vince Russo in charge of AEW. And Vince Russo, he gets right to work. So, on the first episode of Dynamite, he's going to book Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley in an exploding barbed wire death match. But here's the thing, the bombs, they're not going to go off again. So, next... Wait, hold on. Next week, Russo, he books the same thing. Moxley, Omega, exploding barbed wire death match. No explosions again. AEW, they've now promoted big explosions for 3 weeks in a row, and they failed to do so. And meanwhile, Russo's thinking this is great TV. He's intentionally doing this. He's intentionally not setting off these explosions. Bro, these marks are going to be tuning in to find out when these bombs are going to go off. Mm. In reality, of course, AEW is going to be losing viewers by the thousands.
Yeah.
And Russo, he sees the ratings go down, so he panics and he starts to improvise. He's going to keep these weekly, exploding barbed wire death matches, but he's got a trick up his sleeve. He's got a good old Russo swerve coming right up. Bro, Russo, he's going to call up an old friend. He's going to get on the phone to Brian Clark, a wrestler well known for his appearances in the WWF and WCW under a plethora of gimmicks. He used his real name as part of a WCW tag team called Chronic, who won the Wrestling Observer Awards for Worst Tag Team in the year 2000 and 2001, by the way. He wrestled under the name Raph for a period of time, but crucially, gentlemen, between 1993 and 1995, he wrestled under the name Adam Bomb. So maybe he knows a thing or two about, Adam Bomb.
I love that. I think I got it.
He loves his wordplay, Bryce.
Love it. Always playing with words. But
look, it was the Duso and Russo. Like, this brilliant poetry.
Poetry. The next week, Adam Bomb comes out and he promises the fans that he will live up to his name and he will provide bombs in the main event of the show. So again, we have it.
Slick.
Moxley, Omega, exploding barbed wire death match. And the match goes 29 minutes with Adam Bomb at ringside holding one of those kind of push down detonators. And on the 30th minute, he pushes on the detonator. And fucking hell, nothing happens. Oh. The crowd, they boo. The internet, they tweet. Austin Gunn, he's in the front row marking out for no reason. The whole situation is carnage. And Russo, he panics again, and he pulls another trick from his sleeve. He sends out his new wrestling faction, which he calls the Bomb Recovery Operation. The acronym for which is, of course, BRO, bro. And they frantically try to recover the bomb so it explodes. Adam Bomb, he walks away. He actually walked away from wrestling years ago, and right now he's remembering why he did it. The bomb recovery operation, they try and fail to recover the bomb. AEW Dynamite goes off the air, once again, explosionless. So, at this stage in real life, Kenny Omega, he's had enough. He says that he's leaving and he's not coming back until Vince fucking Russo is out of here. And Russo says to him, you can do what you want. He cannot show up, but he is contractually obligated to defend his AEW title, whether he likes it or not. And the next title defense is going to be at Double or Nothing. And if Omega doesn't show up, Russo is going to sue the shit out of him, bro. Russo's going to say, Kenny Omega, do you know what you need to be in this wrestling business to have true success? You need to be a shark, bro. And you ain't a shark. You're a freaking goldfish, bro. Don't come at me with that weak shit. So, Omega fucks off for a while. Double or Nothing, it's not for a few weeks yet. And while Omega's away, he captures the Impact World Championship, the AAA Omega Championship, and the IWGP Championship, because he's a belt collector. And that's what belt collectors do. See David Arquette.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Russo is just wreaking havoc left, right, and centre on AEW Dynamite. This is to the extent where Tony Khan has to come back from his holiday because Russo is just making the biggest mess of his company. He's ready to fire Russo, but Russo's all like, bro, you got to give me one more shot to make you more money than you've ever made in your life. Bro, I've got an idea that'll work. And if it doesn't, my name's not Vincent Russo. And so he pitches a match for the AEW Double or Nothing 2021 main event. He pitches a match that features Omega and Moxley, an exploding ring, and barbed wire ropes. And immediately Tony Khan's all like, fucking wait a minute, I've seen this before. But Russo's all like, bro, you gotta listen to me, bro, or I swear to God, you'll regret it, bro. So Russo describes the match a little more. So yeah, this is going to be Omega defending his AEW title against Jon Moxley. Also, he'll be defending the Impact, AAA, and New Japan World Championships.
Wow.
And there will be bombs in this match. But, you know, these bombs, they keep failing to go off. So we need something that just fucking ensures that the bombs are going to go off this time. So you know what we're going to do, bro? We're going to put that bomb on a pole. But let me tell you something. This isn't an ordinary bomb in a pole match. First off, there's going to be a bomb and a pole for every corner of the ring. That's right, bro. 4 bombs. And in this match, if you get pinned or submitted, you got to climb those turnbuckles and you got to detonate those bombs on yourself, bro.
What?
The wrestlers are going to blow themselves up, bro. That's genius. And they're going to do this 4 times because this match ain't going to end until all 4 bombs have been detonated. You hear me? But you know what, bro? This is bigger than a bomb and a pole match. This is the Double or Nothing main event, bro. So we got to go big or we got to go the fuck home. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make this match inside a steel cage. And we're going to electrify that cage, bro. Which is going to send a pulse of electricity around that cage every 60 seconds, bro. And if that ain't enough, should a wrestler try to scale the cage and escape within those 60 seconds, well, bro, they're going to have to jump over a freaking shark tank that we
Nice.
Yes. Yes.
This is classic. This feels like a lot like classic New Japan. It's not New Japan. What's the promotion in Japan that just does all the crazy stuff?
The one who initiated the bomb
yeah,
match.
it's DDT. This is DDT
Maybe?
booking.
Yeah.
I like it.
And does this match have a name? Of course it fucking does.
Give it to
We're going to call it the Exploding Barbed Wire Rope Bomb on a Pole Electrified Cage Shark Tank Match, bro. So let me just run down the rules for this match in case you missed all of
Please,
that.
because I was a little confused there, but please, give me through the rules, please.
Here's the very simple rules for the match. So bombs are on a pole, 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you are pinned or submitted, you've got to climb the ropes and detonate one of those bombs. The ropes are made of barbed wire. There's a cage which is electrified every 60 seconds, and there's a shark tank outside the ring. Winner gets just all the belts, every belt. So we get to Double or Nothing. Kenny Omega's back. Jon Moxley is ready for this match. You know, he loves a good exploding barbed wire rope, bomb in a pole, electrified cage, shark tank match. He used to have them in CZW all the time. So the show starts, and immediately there's a problem. Because this is a Russo booking, they couldn't actually get sharks to fill the shark tank that surrounded the electrified cage. So somebody fucked up big time somewhere. They had 8 sharks booked, and now they're 8 sharks down. So Tony Khan is obviously freaking the fuck out. He can't deliver another flop like this. It will ruin AEW. But thankfully, Russo, he knows a guy who knows a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that guy knows a guy who happens to know a guy who knows a shark.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a complete stroke of luck, but somehow they managed to get Shark Boy on a plane and into Jacksonville, Florida.
Bravo.
It gets better. So it's we're not even started yet. It's not quite Shark Tanks, it's Shark Boy. So Vince Russo, he's going to make it up to Tony Khan. He says that to replace the interest of having a shark tank surround the ring, instead, he, Vince Russo, will special guest referee the match. It's all about those ratings, bro. And this match really needed a little something extra to really sell it, you know? It was just too plain and boring before. So we get to the pay-per-view. It's Double or Nothing. It's Kenny Omega, it's Jon Moxley, it's the AEW, Impact, AAA and NJPW heavyweight titles. It's an exploding barbed wire ropes, bomb on a pole, electrified cage, Shark Boy match, which has Vince Russo as a special guest referee. So the match starts, and immediately Kenny Omega tries to escape from the cage so that he can keep his titles and not have to wrestle Jon Moxley. But Jon Moxley, he grabs Omega's leg, and Omega hangs onto the cage for approximately 55 seconds, and then Mox lets go, and bzzz, the electrified cage shocks Kenny Omega. The lights of the arena turn a gimmicky shade of blue, and fake steam shoots out of the top of the cage like a boiling kettle. Omega falls to the mat, and Mox pins him, with Russo counting the 1, 2, 3, meaning that Kenny Omega must climb a turnbuckle and detonate a bomb. So once Omega comes to, he climbs the turnbuckle, but oh no, he unhooks the bomb and throws it at Moxley, but Moxley deflects it right into the path of Vince Russo. It explodes, and bro, we've got a freaking ref bump here. Taking advantage of the ref bump, Omega gives Mox a low blow and throws him back first into the barbed wire ropes that surround the ring within the cage. But while Mox is selling, his back is resting against the cage, and bzzz, it electrifies him, and oh my god, steam shoots out unexplainably from the announcer's desk as Jim Ross, Tony Schiavone and Excalibur wonder what the fuck is going on here. Kenny Omega notices that Mox is down and that the cage timer is reset, so he takes this opportunity to try and escape the cage again. He must retain his titles. He gets to the top of the cage and starts to scale down to the bottom of the other side, but all of a sudden, Shark Boy appears. It's Shark Boy, and he's got a steel chair. Shark Boy warns Omega that if he climbs any further and escapes this cage, he's got a can of whoop-ass coming his way, and that's a fishing line because Shark Boy said so. Omega is frantic. He begrudgingly gets back into the cage where Mox is waiting for him. Omega goes for the V-trigger, but Mox dodges it. Paradigm shift. No, Omega escapes, rolls up Moxley. Vince Russo has been revived. 1, 2, 3. Mox must now detonate another one of the bombs on a pole. And of course, Mox is a clean-cut babyface, so he's going to climb those turnbuckles, and he will detonate that bomb on himself. And he does so. It explodes, repelling him backwards. Now Omega, he's sure that he's got this match in the bag. He once again goes to cover Moxley, but oh no, Vince Russo, he's got a bag of powder, and he throws it in the face of Omega. Omega can't see. He's clawing frantically at his eyes. And now Vince Russo's got a microphone in his hand, and he calls to the backstage technicians, "Turn off the cage, bro. Turn off the cage, bro." And all of a sudden we hear a kind of, sound as the cage de-electrifies. And now Shark Boy is scaling the cage. Shark Boy enters the ring. Kenny Omega, he's still trying to clear the powder from his eyes. Moxley, he's stirring after detonating bomb number 2. And the announcers are questioning, why is Shark Boy in the ring? And why is steam shooting from their announce desk? One of the questions about to be answered. Shark Boy, he grabs bomb 3. Vince Russo, he grabs bomb 4. And they hurl the bombs at Mox and Omega. They explode, and Shark Boy wastes no time in covering Kenny Omega as Vince Russo counts the 1, 2, 3. And now the match is over. Vince Russo calls for the bell as Justin Roberts announces Shark Boy as the winner of the Double or Nothing main event. And the doors of the electrified cage open, allowing Vince Russo and Shark Boy to exit the cage. Shark Boy collects his newly won championships and holds them high above his head, with Vince Russo smiling maniacally like a Cheshire cat. Was this just an elaborate plot with the intention of making Shark Boy the AEW World Champion, the Impact World Champion, the AAA Champion, and the IWGP Heavyweight Champion? Mate, you fucking bet it was. It was a classic Vince Russo swerve that you never saw coming, bro. Shark Boy and Vince Russo, they escape the building, running past Tony Khan, carrying all the championships, and then they go on to form their own breakaway wrestling promotion called the Super Shark League, where only sharks are allowed to wrestle for championships. In conclusion, Shark Boy wins every title in a completely overbooked, overhyped mess, and that's how I'd rebook this whole AEW Exploding Ring fiasco. Shell yeah.
Wow. I mean, the Shark Boy thing, with the shark cage, when you mentioned the shark cage, I thought, the shark, obviously I'm going to pop for the shark cage, but then I thought, I know my friend Bryce, he likes himself a little bit of Shark Boy. Could we see some Shark Boy? And then, not only did you include Shark Boy, you had Shark Boy swerve everyone and win the fucking match.
It's about time. It's about time Shark Boy was world champion 4 times at the same time, you know.
That once, yeah.
So hold on, how many belts does Shark Boy now hold?
4. He's got the AEW, the Impact, the AAA, and the New Japan.
In a new promotion where he can fight only sharks?
Yes.
Yes. The Super Shark League, yes.
Real sharks or sharks like him?
The street sharks as well. All right.
Like, dude,
The street sharks.
street sharks. They come in on their roller skates.
Yeah.
And the biker mice from Mars try and form a faction, but they get
they're not allowed in. They're
legit,
mice.
like just turfed out.
They're not sharks.
No.
Is Russo like part shark?
I mean, he's not, but he's a manager, so he doesn't compete, so he doesn't have to be a shark. You know, he can do whatever he wants. But I mean, you could get people involved, like Paul Great White. That could work out.
Jesus,
to be a shark.
come on.
I didn't even have that written down. That's just totally off my head, boys. This storyline is my absolute pinnacle of my booking. So
I want to be the fly on the wall when Tony Khan meets Russo for the first.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be in that room. I want to see what happens. I wonder if Tony Khan would even shake his hand.
I don't know, because Russo's always he's always talking about AEW and doing them dirty, isn't he? Saying how it's just terrible booking, etc. So I don't think they'd be friends.
He's also convinced that AEW and WWE
are working together.
Work together, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Go Vince, you lovable rogue.
What's he like?
I wasn't mad at him at any point during your booking. It was just, it all felt like the natural conclusion of what Vince Russo would do.
Yeah. Put Shark Boy and have one of the titles, yeah.
Makes sense. Like, okay, book the same match over and over again, keep the ending the same. Makes sense.
Yeah. And then the crowd, the fans are going to want to tune in for more, bro. And that's how you get them. That's how you book. That's how you book wrestling, bro. So, if you liked that, well, we've got 2 more epic Russo rebookings coming.
Bro.
Now we're going to move on to Tyler's Book It Like Russo, which, as I mentioned, is going to be a play, I guess. But Tyler, please put our audience's mind at rest. You legitimately do have experience in this kind of stuff, right?
So yeah, I mean, I come from a theatre background, and I watch wrestling for the art. You know, I'm one of the few people. I'm not there for the violence and the fisticuffs. I'm there for the true art of it all. So I got asked about doing this Book It Like Russo during WrestleMania weekend, and as an artist, I find it's easiest to do these kind of creative processes if I really just try and absorb who I'm trying to embody. So I spent a long time just being Vince Russo watching WrestleMania, mainly sitting in my pants and stroking my 1-year sobriety pill, like little coin. I got a little coin. And and just kind of thinking like Russo, and I've written a script because I realized something that I was trying to ask myself a deep philosophical question with what I could do with Book It Like Russo, and I think I'm trying to find the truth of wrestling, like
the truth,
like what is the truth of professional wrestling. And I kind of wrestled with that. Ironically, I wrestled with that question quite a lot during the creation of this. So to answer all your questions, I've written a script that I've shared with you guys. It's the first time you've seen this script. I don't know if I would describe it as a play. I think I would probably describe it as kind of some abstract version of a play, but I have written a preface in the script that hopefully will explain to the listeners what's going on. So you're going to be, Bryce, you're going to be cast as Vince McMahon.
Nice.
Yeah. So your best Vince McMahon impression, please.
You're fired.
Perfect. It's excellent. And Dylan, you're going to be Russo.
Bro.
Very good. It's excellent. So the casting is spot on, as you can tell. Now, the script is called Vince on Vince, but I have referred to Vince as Vince McMahon and Russo as Vince Russo. So as not to complicate things, I think it would just get a bit messy. But shall we start? Shall we read Vince on Vince, a Book It Like Russo by Tyler Mortimer?
Do it like Russo, bro.
Vince on Vince, a Book It Like Russo by Tyler Mortimer. Act 1. Prologue. Welcome, dear listener, to the beginning of our story. It probably feels weird at first hearing yourself so openly referred to. Well, dear listener, as you most likely already know, wrestling so often ignores breaking the fourth wall. Modern pro wrestling products don't really care about your position in all of this. Well, unless you're there, live, and not behind some screen or... Anyway, that's not the point. Let's for a moment move past that and actually acknowledge your role in this story. Yes, it's true, you play a part in this. Without you, dear listener, the story doesn't exist. This story doesn't function. Not without you. Without you, we wouldn't need a fourth wall. No, we need you to be live, here, when it happens. Otherwise, what would we even have when it comes to the shine or even the swerve at the end? No, we need you, Marks. Because like the writer of this piece, who is currently typing over his iPad and drinking a Bang energy drink at 32-year-old, thinking, are these heart palpitations normal? And maintaining eye contact with his dog in some vain attempt to get inside the mind of an animal. A pro wrestling Vince mindset. Sorry. I suppose what I'm saying or what I'm trying to say is put down your tinfoil lucha mask for just a second, because I'm also a mark, and until now I had not figured out the actual truth of pro wrestling. 32 years old, and I'm yet to fully grasp what makes this fiction-based fighting we love to digest into our daily lexicon, well, real. What is wrestling's actual truth? And how can we tell it live as it happens? Well, dear listener, the truth in wrestling is where it has always been. In the lines of a script, maybe this script. So if I was going to be able to tell you the truth of this story, get to the meaty bits you all want to hear, it would have to be in a script. A script you're hearing for the first time, dear listener. A script you would have to know is a script being read for the first time in order for you to know its truth, because it's a scripted truth that only a true mark could really believe. Could really embrace a brass ring made of imagination that we as wrestling fans reach out to as a route out of this boring, less fighty reality and into the truth, or at least some worked version of it. A work-shoot sense of belonging that is entirely made up, but also has some true bits, believable bits, bits you relate to, some newly discovered part of the wrestling canon, except from a parallel universe, a divergent timeline perhaps, that we've never really heard until now. That we all heard live, together, for the first time, a pay-per-view of collective conscious via podcast. And why, dear listener, should I be the one who writes it? Well, dear listener, my answer is simple. Why shouldn't I? Maybe it's time, here, now, the real God's honest shoot truth of professional wrestling. Why don't we get together, reach out collectively for that brilliant brass ring, and make some kayfabe? So join me, if you will, for Vince on Vince, a story of two Vinces vincing their way through the weird world of professional wrestling like only two vindicated, violent, yet volatile young Vinces could dream of vincing. A play, in 3 acts, performed on a fictional stage by two podcast hosts who've never really read the play before. Shall we begin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was beautiful. That was beautiful. I love it already.
I'm looking forward to this, man.
Oh, man.
Scene 1. The scene opens on a stage. There are 2 chairs. One is grand, freshly shined leather and gold. It's a throne. Next to it is a table. It has a beautiful, decorative, water-decanting vase thing and a handheld mirror. The other chair is just a metal folding chair. It doesn't look gimmicked in any way. Next to it is a bag of cocaine and a rolled-up Shane McMahon commemorative dollar bill. This is not important to the story, but is a very ironic use for such an item. Beside and around them is a set of giant red curtains. In front of them, an audience of redneck fedora wearers and sweaty-ass neckbeards wearing their favourite merch from that indie promotion they like, the one that they secretly thinks make them look edgy or cool, because, like, Dave Meltzer only gave it a 1 star, but that's because, like, he didn't understand the deeper subtext of Zandig's ultraviolent Anthony Burgess-esque performative-esque bloodletting as a deep dive reference into the general suffering of those displaced by war. Or something. Some of the audience are just drinking and having a barbecue. Some are being asked to cover the t-shirts that we just mentioned with leftover Hurt Business merch. Something still real to them, damn it. The lights in the theatre drop, leaving the 2 chairs the only thing visible. A small boy dressed in a weird cult-like robe makes an Illuminati hand symbol and then lights a blood-red candle and begins singing a soft a cappella version of the No Chance theme. Pyro. The 2 Vinces enter. They seem friendly, even enjoying each other's presence. McMahon jokingly sits in the metal chair before looking at Russo and laughing knowingly, and then taking his rightful place in the much less cocaine-y chair. Russo, who has not even acknowledged the audience and is already nervously eyeing the bag of white powder, sits dutifully in his metal chair. Russo and Vincent Kennedy McMahon look at each other, and then the audience.
Well, I suppose if we're gonna do this right, then we have to start at the beginning. It was a Monday night after WrestleMania 30 or something.
A loud snorting noise can be heard, followed by...
Bro.
Vince looks angry at the intrusion, but gestures for Russo to continue. Russo sits straight, as if a handful of coke has just hit the front of his brain. He is like a balloon, and the air was like ideas. Vince Russo is ready. He is inflated.
Bro, if there's one thing you haven't quite mastered yet, bro, it's storytelling, bro. I got this, bro. Anyway, bro, it was the night after WrestleMania, and like most Mondays, I'd woken up naked, bro, smelling of Jack Daniels mixed with White Claw and JBL's deodorant. And yeah, bro, like I said, I'm naked next to Jim Cornette's wife. Like most Mondays, Jim is sleeping in his usual chair. He's passed out after a night. He's passed out after a night of peppermint schnapps, speedballs, and searching his own name on Twitter. And his trouser belt is hanging loose around his neck. And bro, he is holding a signed 8x9 picture of Nick Jackson over his seemingly exposed crotch. And bro, shit you not, bro. My phone rings and I'm like, bro.
Russo's phone rings. He holds it up to the audience. The following plays out of the speaker.
Hello? This is Vince McMahon, chairman of the WWE. God damn it, am I on? Hello?
And then I'm like, bro.
Look, I'll cut through the shit, Russo. The ratings are, well, down. And, well, I was thinking about how last time we,
Bro?
And yeah, and there was that time you had some great ideas and...
I'll do it! But you know what you have to do, bro. You know what I want.
Look, Russo, I know what you want. Well, while I am agreeable, surely there's another way.
Tonight, bro.
Wait, what?
See you at Raw!
Russo hangs up his phone.
That's when I sent that tweet.
A small screen to the rear of them descends from the theatre rafters. All the lights dim except that of Vince Russo's screen, which uplights his face, giving him that it's weird that I'm like supposed to be 16 to 18, yet I'm still babysitting all you like 8-year-olds and telling you stories round a campfire vibe. As he composes his tweet, we see this on screen. He takes a deep breath and he begins.
Bro, happy WrestleMania marks, bro. I will see you tomorrow live on Raw. I'm gonna make at Vince McMahon kiss my ass and give me my job back. Hashtag making history. Hashtag bro.
Seconds later, we see the @Wrestling Observer Twitter comment a single question mark, then a wild storm of retweets, love hearts, and constant noise of notification. Russo laughs maniacally over his uplit phone. All lights to black.
Top evil laugh. Top evil laugh.
Perfect. Act 2. Rebirth. It's the opening of Monday Night Raw, the night after WrestleMania, and let it be said, here and now, that Vince Russo can pop a rating. Viewership is at its highest it's been in years. The global Mark community is waiting with bright red faces behind TV screens the world over, their wrestle dicks firmly in hand, waiting eagerly to pop over the next few hours of Raw.
Mm-hmm. What happens to me?
But we won't have to wait that long, dear listener, as the opening shot of Raw is much the same as WrestleMania Night 1. Vince stands, one hand in his pocket, mic in the other, the locker room poured out on the stage behind him. The audience in attendance applaud his appearance dutifully, and he speaks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. Last night, we made history at WrestleMania, and as we welcome back you, the WWE Universe, after a year of challenges and the changes, the one thing that has remained constant is you. But the same cannot be said about the WWE product. The world has changed in ways that will never be the same again, and...
His voice begins to crack.
And I must change with it. I must acknowledge that it's time for me to move on. It's time to...
The Titantron's screen flickers into life. We see Russo with mic in hand. The locker room are completely unaware of what's going on, and Vince looks visibly shaken.
Whoa, bro. Whoa. No, not yet, Vince. Not yet. You started at the wrong point there, bro. Tell them.
By this point, Triple H, who clearly has no idea what's going on, has found a live mic and started shouting, "What are you doing, Russo? This is my show!" or something.
That is a perfect Triple H, by the way.
Thanks.
Hunter, it's okay. He's right. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I will be making an announcement about the future of WWE. Something that I have thought about for a long time.
He drops the mic and walks past the locker room without making eye contact with any of the clearly confused wrestlers. Triple H stands looking at Russo on the screen. It's a mixture of confusion and anger, or what Stephanie would call his marriage face. Cut to later in the night, after a very badly booked or normal Raw. Vince Russo has made his way to the ring. He has a live mic. The fans in attendance boo. Russo waits. He eventually speaks.
Bros, I know. These last few years, man, you've been watching as Vince has given Raw up to the PG marketing machine and the corporate enterprises. You've watched him pluck out and sell all of the joy that was professional wrestling, bro. Sold it for capitalist interests and lucrative cash grabbing. But bro, here you are, watching this barely watchable product. Bro, at least whenever I ran the ship, whenever I stood up to the competition, that ship was firing its cannons, not sinking under the weight of a bad captain. Wrestlers thrived under me. Ratings popped. And now, finally, Vince wants to jump ship. He wants out. So, yesterday, bro, Vince calls me. And he says, I got some good ideas. He wants me to run this place again. I know, bro, I know. He called me to, once again, reignite the passion in this place. Well, you know what, Vince? I do have good ideas, but I told you what I want.
The tweet is shown on screen and the fans are up in boos and cheers. Russo drops his pants and waits.
Fuck her up, bro!
Vince's music hits and he walks to the ramp.
Russo, you're right. We need you back. After all my life working for this company, I realized something. No matter how hard I try, I can't do what you do. I haven't got your skill set, and that I've been trying for years now. No, I need you to finally sink this company. To finally make a product as bad as you did with WCW, and I can't do it by myself. Damn it, I tried.
Silence falls over the crowd.
Bro?
That's right. You think I called you here to save WWE? You? No, Russo. I want you to kill it for me. Show these people, these mindless sheep, the pockets holding my money, just how bad you can be. You killed WCW, right? Surely it's fitting you finally killed this product too. And if I can't kill it myself, then Russo, I have no choice. I hand you the keys to the kingdom.
Okay, Vince, but you gotta do one thing first, right here, right now. You gotta kiss my ass, bro, live in front of everybody. But know this, Vince, I'm not gonna kill the WWE. I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna make this product great again and redeem myself in the process. And if you don't kiss my ass right now, I'm gonna do something you never saw coming. You see, what we know is that this business is already done. I've signed the contract. As of next week, Russo runs Raw. But for one small thing, to make it legit, you gotta come down here and pucker up.
The crowd don't know what to do. Some chant, kiss his ass. Others boo. Some mumble under their breath, confused by what is taking place. Vince slowly drags his feet to the ring. What plays out next is that classic bit where it looks like Vince will kiss his ass, but ultimately he doesn't.
I don't care. I won't do it, Russo. Do you know who I am? I'm Vince McMahon, damn it. I will never kiss your ass.
Oh, you will, bro. Perhaps you didn't read the contract. If you don't kiss my ass, I get a match with you. A match which will finally save WWE from you joining it. If you don't kiss my ass right now, then next week we're having a WWE on a pole match.
Vince does that bit where he looks all shocked and butthurt. The crowd erupts with feelings, new feelings or old feelings, long since forgotten. One member of the crowd starts shouting, "This is it! This is the end! All worlds end here! We have become forsaken, and those who have risen against us now rue the sum of our collective humanity." Or something.
Oh, but wait, Vince, bro, there's more. You should know something, bro. I came here, bro, to save the WWE and also to redeem myself, bro. So I've been talking to some friends. If I can win this match, which I will, bro, I get controlling interest over the WWE. And you're right, Vince, I can't run this thing. It would be dead within a week. So when I win, bro, I'm going to sell WWE to this bro.
Cut to the Titantron. The live feed shows Tony Khan scrambling for a headset. His voice is excited, his eyes electric. He says, "I didn't want it to do it this way, but I'm ready, Vince. I'm ready to buy it. I've already got the paperwork ready to go."
That's also a great Tony Khan, by the way.
Thanks, man.
Anytime. So, Vince, bro, you're going to kiss my ass right here, or are you going to go down swinging?
The WWE logo appears on screen and the feed fades to black. On Vince Russo and Vince staring at each other and Tony Khan eagerly awaiting to hear if the fight is going to go ahead. Act 3. Requiem. We join Vince and Vince back on stage in their chairs. The audience are lurched forward with their mouths open in shock.
That's when something weird happened. Sports entertainment dominated the news, media outlets other than Fox, and celebrities tweeting and interviewing everyone and anyone. Pro wrestling was finally back, and everyone wanted to know, when are we going to fight?
Everyone wanted to know if I could win, bro. And if it was even possible, I could sell it to Tony, bro. Was this a work? Was it a shoot? Was it real?
The next part, dear listener, is your part. Like I said at the beginning, you have a role in this. I need you to now collectively imagine the next bit as if it were true. This is the bit, you see, that a script can't really tell you. This is the bit where words don't really work in professional wrestling. This is the dance, the fisticuff ballet of violence. This is the lie of the square and the truth of the circle. This is your bit. This is where the making of the kayfabe is up to you. Scene 3. We open on a wrestling ring in an empty arena. Projected onto the canvas are the words, then, now, forever. There are no screens or frills. There's no crowd, no music, just Vince and Vince. Oh, and Tony Khan, who watches from ringside with a contract in hand. In the book Theatre and Violence by Lucy Nevitt, the author describes WWE as the extremity and absolute clarity of violence. The next 30 minutes of uninterrupted viewing is exactly that. Both men bleeding within the first 3 minutes of the match, both Vinces seemingly swapping control over and over. No clear winner emerging, no weakness, no cheating. Just the will and strength of two Vinces vincing their way through the weird world of professional wrestling. Tony Khan looks on from ringside, his eyes welling with tears at the sight of the sheer mastery and absolute clarity of violence. Dear listener, I cannot write the next bit, not the truth of it. So I ask you now to do your bit, your part. I need you to imagine the truth of what happened in that ring on that day. I need you to see past the subtext of my writing and engage in the act, because I can only write this. What unfolded was truly the greatest professional wrestling match of all time. But ultimately, a 3 count happens. A prone Vince lies beaten in the center of the ring. Tony Khan has thrown Russo over Vince for the cover. The bell rings. The announcement is made. The winner of this match is Vince Russo. As Russo rolls his barely mobile body from on top of Vince, Tony celebrates as both contenders realize the gravity of what has happened. Russo barely stands to raise his arm. Tony grabs it and raises it for him, to no sound from the crowd. The silence, it's deafening. It's then we hear the sobbing. Vince has made his way to the corner, his head in his hands, obscuring his face. He wails like an animal, like my dog wails over the loss of a fresh tennis ball. He appears broken as Russo climbs the pole to retrieve the WWE. Tony, a soft, snowflake millennial type, looks at the broken Vince in the corner, and he doesn't so much celebrate as much as pity him. Silently, he stands in the middle of the ring and claps for both competitors as Russo slowly looks to hand over the WWE to Tony. The sobbing, however, slowly turns to laughter. It's twisted and evil. Vince starts to pull chunks of his face that seemingly peel away, flesh and bone. He's pulling at what appears to be a mask of his own face. Tony looks on in horror. Vince stands up to reveal that under his face is Vince Russo's face. Tony turns to look at Russo, who has now started to remove his face to reveal that he is in fact Vince. Tony, Vince, and Vince standing in a ring. The ring announcer comes over the microphone. The winner of this match is Vince McMahon. The two Vinces circle Tony. In her book, Theatre and Violence, Lucy Nevitt describes WWE as the extremity and absolute clarity of violence. Act 4, Vinceception. We join the two Vinces on stage. They both stand to take bows as the audience erupts with approval. Well, except Jim Cornette, who's suffering from a brain aneurysm and slowly fading out on the floor in the middle aisle.
I can't believe he turned up.
Yeah, that's true.
They drink in their applause. After a few moments, they swap chairs.
It was the greatest swerve of all time.
Bro.
2 large red curtains fall. The audience stands in ovation, except Jim Cornette. He struggles to breathe on the floor. The end. I'm just glad that whole concept worked.
I love the concept. I love the idea of me and Bryce reading this thing out that we've never read before. That is right up my street. I had a blast with that.
I tell you what I loved.
Performed really well, like beyond my expectations. I'm super happy with it.
Thank you. I liked how Dylan definitely ad-libbed at least like 20 bros in that.
Dude, that's a sign of a good performer. He knows the words to doing the work.
He's really feeling the character, you know.
I really got it. Well, when you hear mine, you'll understand that I really got into the character of Vince Russo, and because mine. Well, we'll get to mine in a second, but let's congratulate Tyler for his wonderful play.
Thank you.
That was incredible. I don't know what I was expecting, but that was incredible.
It's the greatest swerve of all time.
Of course,
the Vinception swerve.
One of the best things was you created a new verb, vincing.
Vincing. I kept popping every time you use the word vincing.
Usually 3 times. To do Vince's vincing about.
I feel like the audience should know that. Like, when I talk about marks, man, like I am a mark. Like I wasn't taking the piss out of you guys. Like we're all in this together. We all have neck beards. We all own a fedora. It's fine. We're cool.
I've got at least 3 fedoras, so.
I got away 3 neck beards.
I just don't want people to be put off because I referred to them as redneck hillbillies wearing indie merch. You know.
We're all marks. Like I think one of my favorite parts was the WWE in a pole match. Like it's about time somebody booked that match.
Put the entire WWE on a pole.
It was weird when it came to Vince. Vince is climbing the pole to retrieve the WWE. Like, is that how you say it?
The whole company.
Is that English? Yeah. And like the biggest swerve ever, like Vince McMahon is Vince Russo and Vince Russo is Vince McMahon. How long has that been a thing?
I was gonna do a post credits bit that after the podcast we start talking again and you find out that Vince and Vince return to gorilla position and Vince are in gorilla position and they all start pointing to each other like that Spider-Man meme. Hornswoggle climbs out of the stomach of one of the Vinces and says, "Dad, if you ever need me again, I'll be in rehab," and just walks out.
Well, that's a good starting point for the next one.
Yeah, that's it. Book It Like Russo free.
That's where we take off.
Yeah.
Why not?
Dude, that was excellent. That was fucking excellent. I don't know what else to say. That's just everything I wanted and more. And now my voice hurts because I've been doing Vince McMahon impressions. But we've got one more Russo rebooking en route, and it's going to be handled by our man Dylan. So, Dylan, I've still not got over Steve Austin and a Pope hat from Book It Like Russo 1. What have you got for us this time, bro?
Well, brothers.
My bros.
My brothers. Let me tell you exactly what I've got planned for you guys. There's Vince Russo, of course, is famous for saying the word bro. I don't know if you picked up on it, but we've actually been subconsciously like saying it all this whole show. We've been saying bro. And if you go back and listen to it, you'll probably pick up on it. You probably, now that you know that we mentioned it, you'll listen to it again and you'll hear it. Oh, they do say bro a lot. And that's because Vince Russo says bro a lot. But who else in the wrestling world says bro a lot?
Perry Saturn.
Correct. So today's episode is about Perry Saturn. Today's episode is going to be about Matt Riddle. And it's going to be about
noticed. It's probably that subconscious Vince thing you were talking about.
Exactly. You don't realize it. And now that I've said it, by the way, just keep a little note of how many times bro comes up in this story. So,
do you remember the episode of South Park where they've got like a little counter in the bottom left of the screen? It's every time they say shit. Yeah. It's basically be like that. Your little bro counter in the bottom of the screen.
Yes. If somebody could leave a comment and tell us how many times I say the word bro. That'd be very much appreciated. Let me give you a little bit of.
If somebody, tell you what, if somebody can count how many times we say bro in this entire episode, we will do any rebooking you want. Like, you name a rebooking, tell us how many bros we've done, and we will rebook whatever the fuck you want to rebook.
I tell you what, right? If someone gets exactly the right amount of bros, because this means that you are going to have to go through the whole of the podcast and listen to it again and pick up on the word bro, and count every time we say bro. I will print the only copy of Vince on Vince, the script, and I will send it to that person.
There you go. That's incentive.
Up the ante.
Up the ante. Why not?
What more can we do? I like how Bryce was like, we'll rebook any storyline you want us to rebook. And I'm like, I think you'll find Tyler has already booked the most epic storyline of Vince versus Vince.
The second most epic storyline, yeah.
Nobody else is going to be able to come up with anything as good as that.
There's more to come.
Vince versus Vince too.
I got stories, bro.
Excellent.
Anyway,
Until then, though, would you like to hear a little story about Vince Russo and Matt Riddle?
I would love to hear a story about Vince Russo and Matt Riddle. Like, see when he pitched this to me and he just said, like, Matt Riddle, like, that's fucking perfect. He says bro, Russo says bro, what could go wrong? So,
Okay.
tell what could go wrong?
Yeah, it might not be so perfect once you hear it, but we'll save those opinions until the end of the show. How about that?
Do it like Russo, bro.
So, this, very much like the last Russo episode that I wrote, is written in the first person as Vince Russo.
Amazing.
Okay, so do you want me to go for it?
Go for it, man. Yeah, let's hear
ready.
it. Dylan. It's more like it's like a hangover from Tyler's script. It's Dylan as Vince Russo.
Yeah. All right, do I got to do that voice?
yeah.
Were you doing a voice? I thought that was just your voice.
Yeah, well, you know, what voice did I do last time? The really, like, the serious one?
Go for it.
All right, bro. So, after I came back from rehab, all right, bro, then I went back into rehab. Now, you're probably wondering, why did I do the double rehab? And it's simple, bro. Who knows where all the best drugs are? The guys in rehab. That's a fact, bro. Look it up. So, it's true.
It's starting so well.
You've peaked already. 2
So-
sentences in.
I was dabbling with some amphetamines. I was corked up on Charlie. I was pushing an elephant upstairs, if you know what I mean, bro. And I know if you know what I mean. I was honking on Bobo, if you catch my drift. Slurping on the old magic soup. I was pouring liquid goodness into my pores and then sealing up the pores again with wax. It was a wild time in the 90s. It was a wild time. After Pope Steve Austin made the WWE/F approximately $7, possibly more, they thought that I was going to be up to no good, and they sent me to rehab, bro. Can you believe that? Ridiculous. Me? In rehab? Yeah, I love smoking up the dopes just as much as anybody, but it was the style at the time, bro. Don't you get it? I mean, I was really cashing in on the crawdaddies, if you know what I mean. And did I get any of that delicious royalty money for making fun of a major religion? You better believe I didn't, bro. Vince McMahon said about the whole thing, and I quote, he said, if you pay Vince Russo money, then he's just going to spend it on drugs because he thinks he's a big shot. And he's right, bro. I was injecting cocaine sandwiches like nobody's business. I was...
Sorry.
I was unhinging my jaw like a snake and crawling around the floor, inhaling everything that came my way. I grant you, bro, this is not the most effective way to eat drugs. I just ended up eating a lot of insects and stuff like that. But you live and learn, bro. You live and learn. Anyway, so after I got to rehab again, I thought to myself, bro, and that's all I could think of really for a long time, just the word bro, all right? So let me tell you, bro, eventually, whenever I regained my memory, I remembered about where I hid that pirate treasure map that I acquired several years prior. Now, this pirate, bro, he swore to me that there was treasure buried at the site that this map leads to, but he was too old to go retrieve it himself, but he made me promise on his life, on his children's lives, on his wife's life, that I would retrieve the treasure and save the underwater world of Austrophia. Now, I gotta say, bro... Now, I gotta tell you, bro, I thought this was all a load of bullsticky, you know what I'm saying? At the time, of course, now that I have my memory back, because I wasn't clouding my mind with delicious drugs, now it all made total sense. So I thought, hey, bro, let's go on an adventure, yeah? Yeah, alright, so I went back to my apartment to look for the treasure map, right? So I'm driving back to my apartment, okay, bro? And then in my head, I'm like, hey, dude, I don't have an apartment. I live in a house with my wife and kids, okay, bro? And then I was like, oh, shit, dude, I've been in rehab for ages. I should probably check on them. You see how they're doing, you know? But at that point, I was just talking to myself. So now I have to remember how to get back to my actual house. I'm wondering if my kids and my wife are even still there. How long was I in rehab? Are they all dead? Is this the future? I mean, obviously it is the future. But I mean, like, is it like 2027 or whatever? You know what I mean. So I'm really confused, bro. I'm so let down. I don't know what's happening. I don't know how long I've been in rehab for. I don't know if my wife is still alive. I don't know how to drive the car that I'm driving. And also, I don't know where I got this car from. I'm in a bad way, bro. And I'm sitting there, okay? The whole time I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, were the drugs really that bad? I mean, here I am, drug-free, and I'm having more problems than I ever did when I was totally wanker. When I was high on crackers, I didn't have a care in the world. And now I'm freaking out that I might have stolen somebody else's car. I was starting to think that maybe being drug-free isn't as cracked up to be as it's cracked up to be. I was cracking, bro. So I go to get out of my car, right? And then I'm like, oh, crap, I probably should have turned it off first. So I stood on the sidewalk and watched my car slowly drift away into oncoming traffic. Well, I guess that's it for my car, right, bro? If that even was my car to begin with. So I'm thinking, all right, bro, you know what I need right now? Some fucking drugs. I mean, regular drugs would be nice too, but if they're fucking drugs, I'll take them. And then I started wondering, who am I talking to, bro? This being sober stuff sucks ass. So I'm walking around the streets with my pants around my ankles because, you know, it's a really good way for the chicks to get invested. You know what I'm saying? They love that kind of forward thinking. Anyway, so I'm walking around the streets and I see this shop, all right? Well, I'd call it a store because I'm an American. Anyway, there's this guy lying on There you go. That's for international listeners. Anyway, there's this guy lying on the sidewalk in front of the store. He's just lying there trying to catch butterflies in his mouth. So I look up at the store and it's called We Sell the Best California Weed in California, or WSTBCWIC for short. Well, that's wild, bro. So I'm like, how long have I been in rehab for, bro? Have I been in rehab for so long that drugs aren't illegal anymore and rehab is completely pointless? Almost, bro. Almost. So I kicked this homeless guy in the face, but just like lightly with the bottom of my flip-flops, all right, bro? And so this homeless guy, he leaps up, he does like a flip in midair, and he lands on his feet, and he punches me right in the dick, right, bro? And I mean, bro, that really hurt. So I was like, bro, and he was like, bro, no, I don't like people making fun of me, all right, bro? So I say, bro, and he shakes his head. He shakes his head, and he says, bro. So I counter that by saying, bro, but then he just folds his arms confidently, and he says, bro. And I'm floored, bro. He got me good with that one. I mean, what more can you say to that? I'm looking at this guy, and he's jacked up, man. He looks great. I mean, you could cut ice with those nipples, bro. And I tried. I mean, I didn't actually try, but I thought about trying. So he probably noticed me licking my lips while I was staring at his nipples. And he was like, come on, bro. And I said, hey, bro, if you don't want me fantasizing about cutting different things using your nipples, then maybe you should think about putting on a shirt. And then he said he wasn't wearing a shirt because he's a pro wrestler, bro. Swear to God, bro, he used the word bro. Also, as I have already established, he had been saying the word bro several times prior to this as well. I got dollar signs, bro. Dollar signs in my eyes, which I assume was some sort of side effect of being off the drugs for so long. I was feeling sick, bro. Sick with excitement, but also generally sick. So I go to Vince. I say, you got to book this guy. He's hilarious. Then I realized I was actually talking to a reflection of myself in the store window. But my name is also Vince, so it kind of still counts. So this bro, he bros up to me, and he's all like, talking to yourself, bro? And I'm all like, no, I'm talking to you, bro. You could go places, bro. I used to book for wrestling back in the day. I don't know if you've ever heard of the Attitude Era, but I invented it, bro. Before I came along, wrestlers didn't have attitude, but I changed all of that. Before me, wrestlers didn't fight in the airport or at the circus for no reason, but I changed all of that, bro. Before me, wrestling matches, they always happened in the ring, and they very rarely involved poles. But I changed all of that, bro. Bro. So he's looking at me, bro, with these wide eyes. He's like, really, bro? You're really a booker, bro? And I'm like, you know it, bro. Woo, 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 bro. That was all me as well, bro. I did everything for Zack Ryder. At least I imagine I did. I might have been doped up on hops at the time. I frequently was. I like this kid, though. I like this kid, all right? All right, bro? He's got a good look. He's got great nipples. He keeps calling people bro. And also, he's got a really good look. And those nipples, man, it was a good look. So right then and there, bro, I swear to God, bro, I had a coming to God moment where like God came down to me and I met him and I called him bro and he laughed and he patted me on the back and told me I was a good boy. And I always knew I was a good boy right from the start. I had what the professors would call an epiphany, bro. Although the professors probably wouldn't say the word bro, but I did, bro. Okay, bro? I said bro all the time. Anyway, so I'm talking to this guy. I suddenly remember to ask him what his name is. I always find it's much easier to get a wrestler booked if you know what his name is. And he says, bro, you don't know Matt Riddle, bro? And I tell him to knock it off with the bro stuff, all right? Like, that's a Russo angle, and that means it's trademarked, and also, fuck you. He said to me, now here's what he said, okay? So what he said to me was, and I'll never forget it, bro. He said, my name is Matt Riddle. And I was floored, bro. Floored. I'm like, Matt Riddle? That's not going to sell, bro. You need to change your name to Christmas Krangle. And he looked me dead in the eye, and he immediately agreed. He nodded his head and said, bro, that's exactly the thing I need to really push me to the top of the charts, and also to the top of the wrestling world. I could see that I had him, bro. I could see he was invested, so I went further. I said, yeah, bro, here's the deal, all right? So you're going to be renamed to Christmas Krangle, all right? But you need a tag team partner. And who is the best heat magnet in the business? Who is the greatest heel in professional wrestling? Well, it's got to be me, Vince Russo, bro. So I'm your tag team partner, okay, bro? Now think about it. Krangle and Russo, it's money. Obviously, I get to keep my name because I'm a former heavyweight champion, bro. I've already got some name recognition. People know me, bro. They know me and they love me. So that's the angle, bro. Christmas Krangle and Vince Russo, the two boyos, will be the tag team champions in no time. So old Christmas is rubbing his chin thoughtfully, as if he's thinking about something. And then he tells me he's really hungry and he wants some sandwiches. So I don't know what that's code for, you know, bro? Because like back in the day, there used to be a code with the boys so they could order drinks and other things backstage. So for example, the Undertaker would say, hey, give me a big bottle of whiskey to drink. And what that means, bro, is that he wanted to drink a big bottle of whiskey. Now, it's a clever code, I know. So I'm trying to figure out what this sandwich is code for, right? So now, Christmas Krangle, he's shaking his head now. He says, no, actually, I'd rather have ice cream instead. Nah, I'm no fool, bro. I know exactly what ice cream is code for. So I say, that's what I'm talking about, bro. Let's go down to the whorehouse. And Christmas says, I don't know. I didn't know they sold ice cream there. And I'm like, come on, bro. They only sell ice cream there. And also cigars. Wait. Are you talking about actual ice cream? And he said, yeah, bro, duh. And I said, well, why don't you go fuck yourself, bro? You don't got any talent whatsoever. I can't believe you coming in here getting into my business, bro. Look, bro, I'm telling you the honest truth. I went to bat for you. I was out there at every single production meeting telling them, you gotta look at this Krangle kid. He's got it, bro. He's got it. I went to bat for you. I was doing this, you know? So yeah, I'm pretty hurt that you're turning on me, bro. I've been nothing but nice to you, and this is the thanks I get? I can't believe this, bro. I thought you were better than this. And then he said, bro. And then I said, bro. So then he said, bro. And then I said, bro. But then he said, bro. And I couldn't think of a good way to win the argument. So I swear to God, bro, I punched him in the face. Anyway, turns out this guy used to be like a cage fighter. I had no idea. So he choked me out. And anyway, that's why I'm in the hospital right now. So if you could call me back, that'd be great. That's it.
Mate. What? One question.
No, I realized that very little of this rebooking had to do with booking anything.
Can I ask one question? What fucking drugs were you on when you were writing the story?
I mean, Bryce, I think you know that I was stone cold sober when I wrote this.
You have this unique ability to switch into the Russo mindset that I don't think me and Bryce are even close to comprehending.
No,
is that a good thing?
It's what that was. I know this sounds like a really weird compliment to give to your booking, but every time you speak as Vince Russo, I kind of want you to be my uncle. Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah, do you want Vince Russo to be your uncle, or do you want me being Vince Russo to be your uncle?
Yeah. Huh. That.
Yes, to be two uncles.
I'm like sweating because of how much I laughed throughout that whole thing.
Well, thank you. I think.
That was excellent. I
Thank
hate
you.
you. I wanted to win this time.
Hey, man. Like I said,
Again.
I didn't know it was a competition, but you can still win. Nobody saw the play coming.
It's a competition. It's always been a competition.
And like I said, I realized after I'd finished it that I'm like, I haven't really booked anything. That's why there's like a really tenuous link where they said, we're going to be the tag team champions. I'm like, that counts. That counts, you know?
I really enjoyed the bro off. One of the many bro offs between Matt Russo and Vince Russo. It gave me serious like Flair Jay Lethal vibes, you know.
And he said bro, and I couldn't think of a way to win the argument. It's just
What I like about that is if you go back and listen, like Matt Riddle always wins. There's two arguments. Matt Riddle wins them both by saying bro, and Vince Russo can't figure out a way to one up it.
I mean, I wouldn't. What do you counter with that?
Exactly, man.
yeah, man, bro.
You know, I think you find it's not Matt Riddle, it's Christmas Triangle. I think you'll find.
Christmas Triangle, by the way. Oh boy, sometimes I come up with a name. Bryce, aren't you happy that I came up with Christmas Triangle for this instead of a tombola?
Yeah, I much appreciate that. You're great at coming up with names like the tag team between Mike Awesome and Kevin Nash called Sexy Awesome,
Sexy
right?
Awesome.
Yeah, into it.
Big Mike and the Sax, I believe, was also.
Big Mike in the
Oh, Christmas Krangle and David Arquette's tag team. What would that be?
David Arquette.
Yeah.
Christmas Krangle and David Arquette. Oh, I have to think about it. I can't come up with a straight up. Come on, bro. I'm not. Hey, I don't give this shit away for free. You want me to start booking up storylines for you, bro? You're gonna have to start paying me cash drugs, my friend.
Will you be my uncle?
You're also, if you want me to be your uncle, you're also gonna have to pay me in drugs.
Yeah, that's fine. Same as normal.
That. Oh my god! What was the last hour and 20 minutes? What was that?
Book It Like Russo.
It was. You're exactly right, my friend. That was Book It Like Russo 2, and like, I guess we can only hope that we've done our Lord and Savior Vince Russo proud.
Look, I feel like there should be a point where we all just say that we do love Vince Russo.
Yes,
I mean we portray him very badly.
Our tongue is like surgically attached to our cheek in this episode. Yeah, like, you know, we like a bit of Vince Russo. You know, we can't mock Vince Russo completely. You know, fair play to him for always sticking to his guns no matter what kind of situation he's in. You know, he's staying true to himself at least. So yeah,
He's for all of the bad things he's done.
And there's a lot.
That's it. That's it. For all of the bad things he has done, that's it. And
Yep. Yeah, it's like say what you want about Vince Russo. Go ahead. Say whatever you want.
You can do that. Book It Like Russo 2. Bro-lectric, Bro-galoo.
My goodness. It's been a trip, hasn't it? 3 very different stories.
It's been a try. I had a fucking great time there, gents. All right, let's fucking round off this show. Did you like this show? Fuck it. Do you like making kayfabe? Do you want more content from Making Kayfabe? We've got it all on Patreon, my friends. If you go to patreon.com/Making Kayfabe right now, you'll find rebookings involving Samoa Joe, Brock Lesnar, Billy Kay, and Luna Vachon on our Kayfabe community tier for just £5. What the fuck else can you buy for £5 these days? Fucking nothing. Only Making Kayfabe. So if you've got a $5 spare, get yourself over to patreon.com/Making Kayfabe. We'll see you there. Season 4 begins next week. Next fucking week, folks. On Tuesday, the 18th of May, we'll be kicking off Season 4 with a super highly requested rebooking and possibly one of my biggest what-ifs in wrestling history. Trust me, Kayfabers, you don't want to miss this one. Want to say a big thank you to our guest host, Tyler. Tyler, do you have anything you want to plug when you're here?
Oh, that's a really direct question. I mean, if we were going to talk about kinks, I think that would be a different podcast.
I really like it when I'm with somebody who's really good at vincing. That's what I like.
You're a great vincer, yeah. You definitely are a great vincer.
2 Vinces just vincing their way through the weird world of professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
Vindicated, violent, vincing.
Vincing.
Why not?
Plug your Twitter.
Oh, you can follow me at dyslexic_tweets. The clue's in the title. Don't point out if I misspell things.
Here we go.
Fucking A.
Fair enough.
Dyslexic _ tweets on Twitter, folks, to follow Tyler and all of his escapades. But all right, folks, Book It Like Russo 2 is in the books. Bro, we'll see you next week for the premiere of season 4 of Making Kayfabe.
Bro.
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 Bro.